The storm returns. What happens when a scandal refuses to stay buried? James Charles is once again at the centre of controversy, this time dragged into an explosive situation involving TikTok creator Kayla Malec and her ex-boyfriend. What started as a personal abuse story has spiraled into a massive public drama that now involves one of YouTube's most recognisable beauty influencers. Kayla's bold revelation shocked fans, but it was the sudden mention of James Charles that turned heads across the internet. Did James know more than he let on? And was he protecting someone dangerous? This is a story layered with secrets, betrayal, and the dangerous silence of influence. Now, the internet is asking hard questions and demanding transparency from one of beauty's biggest stars. The silence surrounding the truth may be louder than ever before. Kayla's confession, a story that shook the internet. He doesn't love you. That's the title of Kayla Malec's now viral TikTok series, where she exposed her former partner, Evan Johnson, for emotional and physical abuse. Her calm yet chilling tone pulled millions in as she detailed her harrowing experience in a toxic relationship. What started as a personal act of bravery quickly evolved into something much bigger as thousands rallied behind her. But as the dust began to settle, a new name emerged, James Charles. And with it, the question, why was a top influencer tied to this scandal? The name drop ignited a firestorm of speculation. Suddenly, Kayla's story wasn't just about her, it was about the people who enabled the pain. James Charles, a familiar face, a new scandal. James Charles isn't new to controversy, but this one feels different. Unlike past dramas centered on beauty deals or problematic tweets, this time it's about association. Kayla's supporters began to uncover posts showing James and Evan spending time together, photos at parties, events, and even private hangouts. James initially brushed off the connection as brief and casual, but as screenshots and stories began surfacing, the internet wasn't buying it. Could James have known about Evan's dark side and still stayed close? With every new detail, public trust in James's story began to waver. The deeper people dug, the more uneasy things became. The screenshots that changed everything. Receipts don't lie. And Kayla came prepared. In a jaw-dropping 3-part series, she revealed alleged messages showing James not only being friends with Evan, but also allegedly warning him that Kayla was planning to go public. The screenshots painted a damning picture, one where James wasn't just a bystander, but potentially someone trying to protect the abuser. Fans were stunned, and silence from James's side only added fuel to the fire. Why didn't he speak up sooner? What was he trying to hide? If true, these claims could signify a level of complicity that James has never faced before. The screenshots became the smoking gun in a growing wildfire. James breaks the silence. When the pressure mounts, the silence has to crack. James finally released a statement addressing the situation, claiming he had no knowledge of Evan's abusive behaviour and was heartbroken by Kayla's story. He admitted to having once been friends with Evan, but claimed they drifted apart over time. However, many found the timing suspicious, especially since the friendship seemed to continue even after Kayla's first warning signs. If James was truly unaware, why did Kayla claim he warned her abuser instead of supporting her? James's explanation felt vague and overly rehearsed to many viewers. His statement left more questions than answers in the wake of public outcry. The public turns cold. Influencer loyalty has its limits, and James may have crossed the line. Following Kayla's revelations, James began losing followers rapidly. Thousands unfollowed him on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, calling him out for what they saw as enabling behaviour. Comment sections once filled with support now overflowed with outrage and betrayal. Some fans even started boycotting his makeup line, demanding accountability beyond an Instagram story. James's brand, once a staple in the beauty world, suddenly found itself on shaky ground. The backlash didn't come from haters, it came from fans who once adored him. Kayla? From survivor to advocate. But in the chaos, one voice grew stronger. Kayla's. Rather than retreating from the backlash or fame, Kayla used her platform to raise awareness about abuse, grooming, and the subtle power plays in influencer culture. She began collaborating with organizations that support survivors of domestic violence and emotional manipulation. Her content shifted from personal experience to universal advocacy. And as she grew louder, more people began speaking up, making her the unexpected but necessary heroine of this story. Kayla went from survivor to symbol, proof that speaking out can shake entire systems. Her journey has inspired a growing movement that refuses to stay silent. The ethics of influence. Being famous online isn't just about followers, it's about responsibility. This situation forced the internet to confront uncomfortable truths about parasocial relationships and influencer accountability. What happens when someone with millions of followers aligns with a problematic figure? Even if unintentionally, the damage can be immense. James Charles may not have laid a hand on anyone, but did his silence and friendship with Evan empower him? Influencers today aren't just creators, they're role models. And this story highlights what happens when that power is misused, ignored, or denied. The fallout. What happens next? The internet never forgets, but it also never stops watching. James Charles now faces a long road to regaining public trust, if he ever can. While he hasn't been officially cancelled, the dent in his image is undeniable. Brands are watching, fans are talking, and Kayla's momentum is only growing. This isn't just a scandal, it's a shift in the influencer ecosystem. The audience is demanding transparency, authenticity, and above all, accountability. James's future depends on more than apologies. It will require tangible change. The clock is ticking, and the world is still watching. Final thoughts. Fame, fear, and facing the truth. What started as one woman's brave act of truth-telling has unraveled into a much deeper conversation. James Charles may not be the villain of this story, but his choices, associations, and silence have made him a character we can't ignore. In 2025, it's no longer enough to say, "I didn't know." People expect more from those they trust. This scandal is about more than one influencer. It's about what kind of internet we want to build. At the heart of it all lies a reminder. Silence protects the powerful, but truth empowers the powerless. And in this case, the truth is ringing louder than ever. This story is far from over. The beauty world, the influencer space, and millions of fans are all watching closely. Will James Charles address the deeper concerns, or will he let this fade like so many past dramas? One thing is clear, Kayla Malec's voice changed the narrative, and in the end, truth always finds its way out. No matter how glossy the brand or bright the spotlight, the truth has a way of cracking through. The question is, who will be left standing when it does? Thanks for watching this deep dive into the James Charles and Kayla Malec controversy. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more updates on the biggest influencer scandals and internet drama.